So I've got Joe Norris from Get Your Tips Out, and today's video is about the disadvantages and the cons of using artificial intelligence like ChatGPT or Google Gemini, or obviously we've got our own in-house AI gambling bot. But what are the disadvantages of using artificial intelligence for both football betting tips and horse racing betting tips?
Yeah, so obviously what AI does is it crunches all the data, saves us a hell of a lot of time doing it. But what it can't do is sort of the visual aspect. So sort of in horse racing, an example is like a horse being unlucky in running, where they sort of got blocked off, and you can sort of mark up their finishing position. I mean, in football, I suppose it could be sort of like team news, especially for like cup games. They could be on a great run of form, but it's a cup match and they might rest some players. So from that respect, you sort of find a bit of value from the lower league team. Even with all the data in the world, you can't feed this information into AI, which is why the human aspect is still so important for it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the big one, which has only come out in the last couple of days, has been the Constitution Hill kind of scenario. So he's gone and done a workout, he's scored badly, and AI doesn't know that. AI's just got the data of it being an unbeaten horse that's absolutely unbelievable, the best hurdler probably ever. So if you ask AI who's going to win the champion hurdle, let's say he does run, but he's not had the best prep, he's got less chance. If he does run, he probably wins, right? But he's probably not going to run in it. But if he does run in it, and like the build up to the race has not been great, you might have them niggling effects to say State Man might be able to beat it. So, like you said, the disadvantages of artificial intelligence is it doesn't have that information. Like you said, with team news for football and stuff like that, there's so much that it can do and do amazingly. But then you've then still got to take certain tips and predictions of what the AI says at face value, because it can't give that visual aspect or have that inside information of how well it's doing at home and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's it.
So, but I mean, there is the counter side to it, which obviously we're trying to integrate, which is actually working really well, which is sentiment analysis. So what we've started to do now with our AI gambling bot is we've started to realize the disadvantages that when we're trying to use artificial intelligence for football tips or horse racing tips, we know that it doesn't have this information. But what we've started to do now is scrape Twitter and YouTube and certain places online that can give the sentiment analysis to see whether, let's say, football fans for Man City are playing in the Carling Cup and they've rested all the players, and they might be like, oh, we've got all our youngsters out, we've not got a chance. I think that Luton might beat us today. Or like last night where Man City have played Luton and they played the full strength side. And you're like, I don't know, the sentiment analysis of that on Twitter will be that they've got the strongest team out and they're going to steamroll them and they're going to do well. So that sentiment analysis part kind of sometimes gives the information away where is something I've got a better chance, or is it doing well at home and people talking really like positive things about the horse or the football team to maybe go and obviously win.
That's it. I mean, AI is great, but if we can improve this sentiment analysis and make it as efficient as possible, I think that's where you're sort of creating a monster there. And it's just about, we're just sort of tinkering with it and trying to get it as good as we can. It's going to take time, but I think it's going in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure. So anyone who's watching the video, let us know what you think are what the disadvantages of using AI for football tips or AI for horse racing tips. It's certainly not the be all and end all. It saves you a lot of time, but in my opinion, you still need that human touch to visually look at previous kind of form. Have they been unlucky in running? The trainer quotes, I think, are very important. Or the team news for football is also very important. So leave a comment. See what your thoughts are of using artificial intelligence for horse racing and football tips.